CBS Sports NFL reporter, the national guy, Ryan Wilson. His thoughts on Mike Hall, who the Browns took in the second round, including some interesting comps.
This isn't a deep defensive line class, but you wouldn't know that to watch Michael Hall Jr., who was one of the most twitched-up players in the entire draft. Think Geno Atkins and that Hall is undersized by NFL defensive line standards, and then think Geno Atkins meets Ed Oliver in terms of his get-off at the snap. And when Hall is on, good luck to any interior offensive lineman tasked with slowing him down, because he shoots gaps like a linebacker blitzing through the A-gap, and a split second later, he's either in the backfield destroying the quarterback or blowing up a run play. Now, he'll get in trouble when he doesn't keep his pad level low, and he'll struggle to get off blocks and make an impact, but that's an easy fix. And for teams looking for a penetrating interior defensive presence, Hall is your guy. He won't find his way into the first round, but he'll look like a day two steal when we look back on this draft.
With that, let's welcome in Casey Kinnamon from Dog Pound Daily and the Barking Browns podcast. Casey, if you give me Geno Atkins with a guy that gets off the ball like Ed Oliver, you might have yourself an all-pro there.
Yeah, I like the word he used, twitched up. That's a good way to describe what Hall is. His initial burst off the line, I mean, he's beside these guards by the time the ball is snapped. And he was playing mostly shade. You'll probably see more work as a three-tech, kind of getting singled up. But he's a gap shooter. He's a penetrator. He gets in the backfield quickly, and he fits the scheme that Jim Schwartz runs.
And, we had talked a little bit earlier. Jim Schwartz has a pretty good idea how to use defensive tackles as a weapon with the offensive or the defensive system he plays.
Yeah, when you run that wide nine, you really got to have active defensive tackles to kind of keep everyone from keying in on the ends coming off the edge. So you see the type of guys they've went after. Even this offseason, going after someone like Quentin Jefferson is kind of the similar mold. A gap shooter, a guy who really gets north quickly and can affect the quarterback and push the pocket. So that's the style of defensive tackles they've been going after. We'll see if that leads to teams trying to key in on the run, because these guys will get out of their lanes to try to rush the quarterback.
All right, so this is interesting as well. It's from Football Insights. They tweet this out. Highest pass rush win rates, rounds 1 and 2 defensive interior linemen since the 2016 draft. Christian Barmore was tops, 15.9. That was 2021 draft. Quinnen Williams, 2019, 15.8. Michael Hall is third. 2024 draft, so this year 15.4, and again that goes back to the 2016 draft. That shows you the win rate, and Hall is actually a higher win rate than guy taken in the first round, Byron Murphy from Texas.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing a trend there, because those first two names on the list who were drafted earlier are bigger players. Barmore's like 6'5", 315. Quinnen Williams is a monster of a man himself. But Byron Murphy and Hall are a little smaller. It's kind of the way the league's going. You're starting to see it pay off. And a lot of people key on the production. And Hall didn't have a ton of sacks at Ohio State. But if you watch tape, he's consistently winning his matchups. And when you're concerned with keeping someone like Myles Garrett with as little attention as possible, getting guys who win their matchups inside is the easiest way to do it. Because even if the other offensive linemen have to think about you just for a split second, that gives Myles that much more of an advantage on the outside. So getting a guy who can win his matchups cleanly and really affect it quickly. Because when you have pressure come quick from the inside, that's the worst thing a quarterback wants to see. So I think just drafting a guy in that mold is the idea here.